Good Tuesday morning to everybody. This is Ann White, the founder of the Creating Calm Network and the host of The Chicken Show. And today is an exciting show because not only do we have two human guests, we have four feathered guests, and I guess there's one fur guest. Riley sits here just so he doesn't cause disturbance. Riley is afraid of chickens and likes to run from them, but chickens like to chase Riley, so it's all good. Now today the topic is house hens. What it's like to live in a house with hens and or a rooster. So one of our guests today is Ronnie the Rooster, and we have two amazing women from the Facebook group Chickenistas who are here to share their experience of having house hens and roosters. I don't want to leave Ronnie out. Wait till you meet Ronnie. So let me introduce you to our guests. We have Debra. And Debra, you are here with two of your friends. Would you introduce us to who you have sitting next to you, Debra?
Yes. Hello, everyone. The black hen is Lola Lolita. She's a black Australorp. And the golden colored one is Sugar Plum Biscuit. And she is a Buff Orpington.
And I was talking to Debra a little bit before we got started, and I was interested in Buff Orpingtons. Would you share about your research on why you chose a Buff Orpington, and then tell us about your diva?
Yes, like I was telling you, Ann, I had a whole chart of the different breeds of chickens that I wanted. And a Buff Orpington was at the top of the list because they said they're very friendly, very docile, but the number one concern for me was that they were quiet. Well, as we all know on the Chickenistas, I did not get a quiet Buff Orpington. But it's okay. She's quite the character, and she is who she is.
Yeah, the diva of the group there.
Yes.
Kim is coming to us from New Jersey, and Kim, you were there with Ronnie the Rooster and Dora. So will you introduce yours, a little bit about each one of your housemates?
Yes. My name is Kim Hamilton from New Jersey. Right here, close up, that's Ronnie the Rooster. He is a Sarama. I want to say he's about 9 months old. And in the back, up on my shoulder, we have Dora. She's a Seabright, a little over 2 years old. I have a regular flock of chickens, or a flock of regular chickens that live outside, 20 or 21 of them. But then this little rooster became available. A friend of mine out in Oklahoma found out about him. She said, there's a woman that lives near you in New Jersey, and she has a little rooster she has to rehome. He's little. What am I going to do with the? I don't even know what a Sarama was. I barely knew what silkies were. You know, so I said, okay, I'll help her find him a home. So I did find him a home. The woman kind of last minute said, oh no, I can't take him. Okay, so I'll hold on to him and help find him another home. Well, that was in June. So here we are now in January. So he's a little long, but it was in August I decided he needed a friend. He thought was a cute little dance on my hand. Like, oh, isn't that cute? What is he doing on my hand? And people said, yeah, he's not dancing. He's doing something else to your hand. Oh, would you?
He just gave you a good poke, didn't he?
Yeah, he needed he does not like the phone at all. He does not like that I'm talking to people.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I got him Dora in August. Along great.
And
Ronnie,
there's an unusual breed, a Seabright. She's very small. I see her over there in the back. There's Dora.
Yes, she's a little over a pound. She is larger than Ronnie. She's a gold lace Seabright. I know they also come in silver, but they're beautiful birds. And that was the first breed of chicken that I wanted, but then I had read that they're small and they're really good flyers and not necessarily cold hardy, so I thought. So I didn't get one, but I ended up getting one in the long run, and she's wonderful. She's so friendly. She's just wonderful.
Ah, they're beautiful. I'm going to go back to Debra now. She's surrounded by her two. And Debra, what made you decide to have indoor hens? Was that your plan? I mean, what were you thinking?
Actually, it was not my plan. I had planned on keeping them outside in their coop with their run, And like I had told you, I had chickens over 20 years ago, and I forgot about the egg-laying song and how they make alert noises. And since we live in an HOA and our neighbors are very close and I'm not supposed to have poultry, I kind of trained them to come in the house to lay their eggs. And that's how the routine's been going so far. And plus, I sleep better at night knowing that they're in the house and they're safe and sound. So.
And what is the egg-laying sound? Can you give us a little demonstration?
Well, Sugar Plum is the egg-laying song queen, and she sort of goes, and it's loud. I mean, it pierces your ears.
Okay. So they sleep in the house as well, right?
They do. Yep, I have 2 extra large wire dog kennels, and I have them butted up to each other. And on one end are nesting boxes, which Sugar likes to lay her eggs in there. And they've got their food and water and roosting pole, and then I just cover it up at night.
Where does Loli lay her eggs?
She lays her egg in a cat carrier on top of our breakfast bar stools.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, they just pick their spots. And then one more question. You have 2 cats I see walking around. How do cats and hens get along?
They get along great. Yeah, when my hens were chickens, little chicks, they were very interested in them, but not in a good way. But as the hens got older and older, they just were like, okay, you're part of the family. We accept you. So it worked out well.
And Kim, do you have any other pets in the house with you besides Dora and Ronnie?
Yes, I have 3 guinea pigs.
And do they ever interact with each other, or are they pretty separate?
They used to. When Ronnie, when he was just a little guy, I would put him in with the guinea pigs. And they were very curious about one another. He seemed to actually have a friendship with one in particular, and she loved to pull on his tail feathers, which would drive him crazy. But now that since Dora arrived, I don't put him in with the guinea pigs. Dora is afraid of them, and Ronnie gets very defensive of any other creature pretty much other than myself or Dora. So it's not safe for the guinea pigs.
And do you think that they will ever have eggs together, Ronnie and Dora? Are they breeds that are compatible? I don't know how chickens and roosters do this.
Yes, they are compatible. I think they would have adorable babies. I'm content just to have 2 in the house. I wouldn't be able to handle more than 2 in the house. But I have had people ask me, you know, if I get fertile eggs, they'd love to have them. So if I think they have fertile eggs, yes, I would happily give them to people and let people have little Ronnie and Doras. I think they'd be the cutest mix.
Now, I noticed Ronnie is wearing a diaper, and Dora doesn't seem to be. And I think one of the big questions you probably ask is every time somebody finds out you have house hens and a rooster, what about the poop? So I'm going to ask each of you the poop question. Does Ronnie wear a diaper most of the time, and how do you manage the chicken poop in the house?
I think I should buy stock in Lysol with the amount of wipes that I go through and paper towels. Maybe I'll get Bounty stock also. Ronnie's okay with diaper. He's doing all right in it today, but I took Dora out of it because I felt that she was just kind of flopping around on the floor and sitting there, and she wasn't going to be Dora. Mm-hmm. So I opted to take her out of it, but going forward, yes, they will mostly be in diapers because I am so tired of chasing them around with wipes and getting nothing done.
Mm. And so his diaper, can you kind of show us his diaper, or would that just offend him?
No, it's fine.
I don't offend a rooster, the manly part. So he wears a diaper, and it's like a little cup?
It does.
Okay.
It's, I don't know how easy this is to see.
See it? Okay, so you can see it's the little pouch. And how do you clean the diaper? Is it a plastic liner inside of it?
Actually, I put sanitary napkins in there
Okay, and that kind of absorbs it, and then you just. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's hear the poop story from Debra then, because neither of your girls are wearing diapers, although you have a diaper that you've tried. I think next you want to show us the diaper that you did try?
Yes. These are the diapers that I did try on them, and they have like a not plastic, but a vinyl lining in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried it on them, and they just did not like it. And like Kim was saying, they weren't themselves. They just were not happy. So I just buy stock in antibacterial wipes and Resolve carpet cleaner. And it's really not that bad. They're only in the house when they lay their eggs, and when they come in the evening, I let them roam the house for about a half an hour, and then they go to bed. So it's not too bad.
What do you think what's the craziest thing people have asked you about living with chickens?
The poop.
Okay. Now, let me see. Yeah, Kim, do you have a crazy thing people have asked you? Is it always the poop, or is there other questions?
Mostly about poop.
Okay.
But I think a weird reaction when I tell people that I do bring them into bed.
Okay. So yours don't sleep in the nest. They don't go to. Tell us about what yours chickens and roosters lifestyle. They're free range in your house.
No, well, not only if I'm home. Because I normally work. I leave around 7:30 in the morning. I'm not back sometimes until 7. So unfortunately they're locked up all day. But they do have a decent sized cage, a fairly large cage. But when I leave them out. And Ronnie, the reason I started bringing Ronnie into bed was he was 9. I don't know, maybe he was 8 weeks old when I got him, and he would cry and cry and cry. So I brought him into bed. He'd stop crying and he'd relax a little bit. And then I found, well, now he crows, so I don't want him waking everybody up. So I'll bring him into bed. That makes him quiet. So now he knows. If I scream, Mom comes running, and Mom tucks me in, and I get whatever I want. I've created a monster with this guy.
So you sleep with both Ronnie and Dora?
Yes. And they're usually not all night. That sounds too strange. Just to settle them down, and then again in the morning, if they're fidgety, if Ronnie's crowing a lot, I grab him, bring him into bed, and he calms right down.
Because they like to cuddle, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. And I put them on a towel. That's the thing. You just put them in your bed. No, they do go on a towel. Because I don't want to change my sheets every single day. There's no way.
I don't think people know how cuddly chickens are, but I think maybe they can see Ronnie's with you cuddling. And right now I think the girls over with Debra are just busy eating, but they're cuddlers as well. Debra, I had asked you a question earlier, and I'm going to be asking Kim. How smart do you think chickens are? Because people always think they're dumb. And having my own chickens now, they're not dumb. But how smart do you think they are?
Oh, I can't say enough about how smart I think they are. As I was saying before, they can recognize, like if I have a friend come over, they're terrified. They go running. I mean, they can recognize faces. They're very routine. Anything new, like for this show today, I moved this chair, and I let them back in the house, and Sugar Plum was just screaming her head off. She was so upset because something had changed. So I think they're super smart, and they're so affectionate. They really are.
Kim, what do you think about the intelligence of hens and roosters?
Yes. I do think they're smart. It seems like maybe different. I guess it's like people. Different people are smarter. Some people don't seem as smart. I find it with the chickens too. Some are very bright. They can find their way through anything. They have memories, which shocks me. And then there are some they can't find their way out of a paper bag.
And do they know their names? Do they come when you call them?
Ronnie knows his name.
Yeah.
Ronnie does.
My little Al knows her name. She'd come running. Yeah. But Dora, you don't know that she knows her name or not yet. Huh?
I don't know.
Okay. When we think about it, how much we love, and look, we're back to Debra holding sugar plum biscuit. But Debra, you had told the story about when you got Lowly. And would you share with us your horror at how they sold Lowly to you? Because these are your fabulous loving pets, and tell the story of bringing Lowly home.
Oh, yes. A friend of mine had told me that there was a feed store that had black Australorps. So I went down there and I looked into the tote, and there was about 30 little chicks in there, and Lola was all by herself in the corner of the tote, and just like the smallest one. So I said to the owner of the place, I said, I'd like that one. He's like, you just want one? I go, yes, just one. So he grabs a paper bag, no bigger, like a lunch bag, drops a handful of shavings in it, plops little Lola in it, and folds it up. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? She's gonna suffocate. I didn't say anything, but I paid my $2.50. I grabbed my little lunch bag. I go running out to my truck, and I took her back out, and I put her in my sports bra. But I was like, no, you can't put a chick in a lunch bag.
In a paper bag, yeah. So you get two eggs a day from your girls. They're pretty consistent.
Yeah, they are pretty consistent. They'll skip a day here and there, but yeah, almost every day.
And let me ask you this question: do you eat chicken at home?
No, I'm a vegetarian.
Okay, that's I am too. But and it's an interesting thing because I interviewed Tara's last week, and she says I don't eat my pets, but I eat chicken. So I think it's a good question to ask. Kim, do you eat chicken?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I will if somebody serves it at their house, or if there's a party and it's served. I hate to see it go to waste. I can't stand that. But I don't buy it. It's extremely rare if you see me. I don't really cook it. Like I said, I'll eat. But if somebody serves chicken breast strips with buffalo sauce, that is so hard to walk away from. That's heroin right there for me. So I'm trying so good.
I'm going to be interviewing people who raise hens, and then they use them for meat, and I can't fathom that. It's beyond my fathom. But I guess it's just part of chickens. So and that's how I got my 6 chickens. The farm was closing. So I said to my friend who's the farmer, what are you going to do with the hens? And he said, well, what farmers do with hens, they're going to go into the stew. And I thought, ah. And so they're wintering with me until their farm opens in the spring again. But how has your life changed since you have had hens? Kim, can you say there's been any positive change to your life, or what effect that the hens, and when I say hen, I'm including Ronnie, just don't let them know I called him a hen.
Not to give too much information, but it's no secret to any of my friends that I do suffer from depression. And I find that these chickens are really they're really therapeutic. A lot of us, we just call it chicken therapy. You have a bad day, something's going on, I gotta go home and hug a chicken. I need chicken therapy. And they're little antics. I could watch them for hours.
Yeah, they vibrate. I'm very into sound vibration or vibrations, and they vibrate at a very healing vibration. When I go down to watch my chickens, who are currently in the basement, I can feel the energy vibration is very calming. So I think they even have a therapeutic, aura around them. Vibration. How about you, Debra? Has your life changed since you've had 2 house hens?
They now rule my life. But it's in a wonderful, wonderful way. They make me laugh every day. They make me giggle. I could watch them for hours. And so, yeah.
Are you going to be tapped out at 2?
Sorry?
Is your limit 2? Are you thinking of getting any more, or are you fine at 2 house hens?
2 is plenty for me. Two is, oh, I would love to. I would love to have more, but no, two is good for me right now.
And Kim, you have an assorted group outside. How many did you say? About 20 or so hens?
20 or 21.
Yeah. And what is their life like? Do you go out and hang with them too? And
Not as much this time of year. I'm not a fan of the cold at all. But in summer, I'll spend hours outside just sitting on the back lawn, playing
and
with the chickens.
yeah, what's the mixture, male and female? Do you have any roosters out there?
Yes, there's one rooster. The rest are hens. They're a mix. There are 3 buff Orpingtons, speckled Sussex, barred rocks. There's a Wyandotte, a couple Easter eggers. Just a good mix.
Uh,
Yeah.
Kim, if you had a magic wand, what are your hopes for hens and poultry in the future? What would you hope to see for their lives?
Oh, so many things. That's a big question, a loaded question. I hate the way the industry is, how it treats chickens. As far as look at the laying hens. They call them battery hens. They keep them in these tiny battery cages. Now, I know in Australia they are no longer allowed to be kept in these little cages. I believe the same is true for the UK. Now, I think California voters just voted either they're getting rid of the cages or the hens will be given more room. So it's a start, but it would really be nice to see these chickens have better living conditions. I mean, if I didn't have hens, I would gladly pay $8, $10 a dozen. I don't eat that many eggs, but just to see them have a better life. And the same with the meat birds.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things I'm thinking is as more people become aware of how special and smart chickens are, maybe they will be treated better. That would be my hope. Debra, what is your thought for the future of chickens? Because you were raised with chickens as a young girl, right? Was it in a farm where you had chickens?
Yes. Like Kim was saying, the whole factory farming and the layer hens, it just sickens me. And I think the awareness of how smart chickens are and how personable and loving they can be, I think the word is slowly getting out there, but my hope is to one day have all those battery pens, or what do you call them,
Factory farm.
yeah, the factory farms be eliminated somehow, some way. But yeah, slowly, I think the word is getting out there for better things for the chickens.
And we're going to probably be talking about that quite a bit next chicken show. We're going to have Andrew Hinkinson on, and he is from the UK, I believe, where they do a lot of rehoming of the battery chickens. I don't know if we do that much here. Does anyone know whether we do a lot of rehoming? Do people get former battery chickens? Kim, do you know about that, or is it mostly in the UK?
It's not nearly as big here, but there are several people that I know of that do have ex-battery hens. There was a big rescue a year ago of a farm in California where they flew 4,000 birds all over the country, 1,000 between upstate New York and Ohio, and some of my friends adopted them. But yeah, I've had people asking me recently if I know of farms in New Jersey. Honestly, I don't, but I would love to see that get bigger here.
Right, especially if they're egg-laying hens and they stop laying, their life is probably pretty dismal after that if they have a life, I would think, once they're no longer profitable.
They get rid of them generally at about 1.5 to 2 years old. And they'll still lay for many more years, but in the industry, they can't take the chance, so they are usually killed.
And then when you think of the beautiful lives that the four feathered ones that are with us today, it would break one's heart. Debra, where's Loli? She's just gone on to do something else. She's got a card game or something going somewhere in the house.
It's very odd. Of all days, she's in the kennel. She's just preening. She's just standing there preening away.
Having her own thing.
Yeah.
Well, this has been absolutely great. My last question is, And Kim, I'll start with you. One of the things about Kim and Ronnie is we did a test drive to see how this would all work. And Ronnie cock-a-doodle-doo during the whole experience. And we haven't had one little rooster cock-a-doodle-doo going from him. He's just comfortable with his mom. Yeah. Kim, what advice would you have for someone who was thinking of getting hens? And, you know, I always admire people who are thinking about it, like how Debra did her planning. For me, I just said, okay, I'll take the hens. They showed up, and I thought, I'm from the city. I don't know anything about hens, so I'm Googling hens as they're sitting in the coop. So other people plan ahead. So, Kim, what advice would you have for someone thinking about having hens and then house hens? So it's kind of two questions, hens and then house hens.
If you're going to have hens, outdoor chickens, definitely research it. Know about illnesses, common illnesses, because unfortunately a lot of us learn on the fly. It's not acting right. What do I do? You can't. It's hard to find a vet that will treat them. So definitely read up on illnesses, get a little acquainted with it. Maybe have keep certain medications on hand. And the other thing is, I would say, make sure you build a really safe coop and a safe run, because the stories we hear on a daily basis of predators getting into the chickens, dogs, the neighbor's dog, their own dog. So definitely, if you're going to get chickens, please make an extra effort and keep them safe.
And how about house hens and rooster? What would, if someone says, I'm thinking of bringing mine in, what would you say to them?
I say do it. They're fun. They're awesome little pets. They're great to have in the house.
And then get handy wipes and Lysol.
Yeah, lots of those, and get your chicken diapers. And there are a lot of places, a lot of people making chicken diapers now. I get mine chickendiapers.com,
Yeah.
and they do a good job.
He's got such beautiful tail feathers. I can see his tail feathers there. Aren't they beautiful? Look at that.
You see, Saramas, they usually stand like this, straight up. They look like little soldiers. Not Ronnie. He's not show quality. That's all right. He's beautiful.
He's beautiful. He is beautiful. And Debra, so someone says to you, well, I'm thinking of having house hens. What would you say to them? Would you say you're crazy, don't? Or what kind of advice would you give someone?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love having them inside, but I also enjoy seeing them outside doing their natural behaviors, pecking and scratching, dust bathing. But when I have them in the house, they're so comical. They follow me around constantly, every single room. They're just funny. I can't say enough. I'd say go for it.
Yeah, and try diapers or not. Either way, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Well, this has been absolutely great. I told you time would fly, so we've had the time, but I think you've given us a great idea of what it's like to have house hens. And there we've got Dora back. Dora has joined us a little bit, and she's got beautiful tail feathers, too. Everybody wants to sit on Mom. Yeah, Sugar Plum Biscuit, and then over in the crate is the retiring Lolita, who has decided she's had too much television today, too much.
And I thought it was going to be the other way.
Yeah, both of you are members of the Chickenistas. That's how I found you on Facebook. So it's a wonderful support group. Kim, you're one of the administrators, right? I think. Kim, you're an administrator?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah.
One of them, yes.
Yes. And what is the goal of Chickenistas?
To create a friendly environment for people with chickens as pets. We try to keep it very positive, very supportive. We do not allow any posts, any comments about killing, be it dogs, roosters, soup hens, processing birds, killing predators, and keep it very respectful of other members too. You know, no snarky remarks. Mm-hmm. If people have sick chickens, we try to get our best. We do our best to try to get them help or get them in touch with somebody that knows how to help. Admins are great on the group. Renee Creasy started the group. We have Ashley Reed Patrick. Everybody knows Ashley, and Gretchen and Jen Pike and Robin Russ Borton. a very good friend of mine, and Dee Waters. And I know I'm leaving names out, and I feel so bad right now. Deb, help me out.
Well, and we want to have the Chickenistas on our group because there is so much to learn, and I think we'll do a show on predators, how to keep your hens safe. But this has been great, so I thank both Debra and Kim, and Sugar Plum, and Lolita, and Dora, and Ronnie for being on our show today. And it's just a clucking good time to talk to everybody. So take care, and thank you for sharing your house fowl with us.
Thank you for having us.
And I forgot one name of the other ad. Sandy. How can I forget Sandy? I'm so sorry, Sandy.
There you go. We got it all, and there's Ronnie showing us how beautiful he is as we sign off.
Yes, thank you again.
Thank you.